If you've ever felt a sense of calm and clarity, only to find it vanish a few days later, this video is the missing piece you've been searching for. By the end of our time together, you'll finally understand why we seem to fall back into old patterns and, more importantly, how to protect your core inner identity, even on the most difficult days. Now, this isn't about motivation or just pumping you up. This is about stabilization. In our last video, we started the crucial work of building an inner identity, that deep sense of self that is undependent on comparing yourself to others or on external validation. But here's the truth that most self-help content completely ignores. An identity without protection is incredibly vulnerable. Life inevitably applies pressure. Our nervous system gets tired and overwhelmed, and when that happens, our old, familiar, and often painful patterns. So today, we're not focused on building something new. We're focused on securing what you've already started to build. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll dive into the neuroscience to understand exactly why the brain seems to relapse. Even after you've made significant progress, it's not your fault, and it's not a sign of failure. Then, you will learn to spot the three main destabilizers of your inner identity, the common triggers that can knock you off balance. And finally, and most powerfully, you'll install a simple internal structure, a mental tool that will keep you grounded and centered, even when you're under immense stress. This is the final and most critical step in this journey. Neuroscience is incredibly clear about one thing. The brain prioritizes what is familiar, not necessarily what is healthy. Let me say that again because it's so important. Your brain defaults to what it knows, not what is best for you. This means that under stress, it will automatically revert to old neural circuits, even if those circuits are the very ones that cause your anxiety, your self-doubt, and your feelings of inadequacy. So, a relapse isn't a personal failure. It's a biological automaticity. It's your brain running an old program, and you can't fight automaticity with sheer willpower or effort. You interrupt it with structure. So where does this pressure come from? Most relapses, these moments where we lose our footing, stem from three primary sources. The first is fatigue, simple physical or mental exhaustion. When your body is running on empty, your defenses are down, and it's much harder to maintain a new state of being. The second is emotional threat. This could be criticism from a boss, rejection from someone you care about, or even just scrolling through social media and falling into the comparison trap. These moments can feel like a direct attack on your sense of self. And the third destabilizer is a loss of presence. This is when we get so caught up in our thoughts worrying about the future, replaying the past, that we completely disconnect from the present moment in our physical bodies. If your identity, your sense of self, only exists when you feel clear and calm, it will inevitably collapse under this kind of pressure. It's like building a house on sand. So we have to anchor it somewhere deeper, somewhere more stable. From an inner perspective, you don't protect your identity by trying to control every single thought that pops into your head. That's an exhausting and losing battle. You protect it by returning to your state of being. Your identity becomes less of an idea you have to defend in your mind and more of a solid place you can stand on, a foundation beneath your feet. This is why silence was step 1 in our series, and why building the identity was step 2. Now, maintaining your presence, even when under pressure, is the crucial step 3. Here is the stabilizing structure. It's simple, but profoundly effective. When you feel that pressure start to build, whether it's from fatigue, an emotional threat, or just being lost in thought, don't ask yourself, what should I do about this? That question just creates more thinking and more anxiety. Instead, you ask a different, more powerful question. Where am I right now? As you ask this, you shift your attention. Feel your body. Notice the contact your feet are making with the floor. Feel the air of your breath moving in and out of your lungs. Become aware of the physical space that you occupy in the room. This simple act reconnects your identity to physical sensation. And here's the key. The brain trusts sensation far more than it trusts abstract thought. Thoughts can lie, but the feeling of your feet on the ground is real. This isn't just a mental trick. This is physiological regulation. You are calming your nervous system from the ground up. So many people get caught in the trap of trying to be calm all the time. But this just creates a new anxiety, a fear of not being calm, the fear of instability. True stability isn't the absence of disturbance. It's the ability to return to your center when you get knocked off balance. And every single time you return, every time you ask, where am I right now? And reconnect with your body, you are strengthening that new neural circuit. You're making grounded your new familiar. Once your identity is protected by this anchor, something truly interesting begins to happen. You stop being so reactive to life's ups and downs. A critical comment doesn't have to send you into a spiral. A stressful day doesn't have to ruin your week. You start choosing your responses instead of being a victim of your automatic reactions. And from that grounded, centered place of choice, things like clarity, creativity, and a true sense of direction begin to emerge naturally. You don't have to force them. They are the natural outcome of a stabilized inner world. This is where your inner field truly expands. Let's do a quick recap of this entire journey. You learned how to silence the noise of comparison and find stillness within. You then used that stillness to build a core inner identity, a sense of self that is unconditional. And now, today, you've learned how to protect that identity with a simple, powerful structure. This is the complete cycle. The message here is that you don't need to fix yourself. You are not broken. You just need to learn how to return to yourself again, and again, and again. Now that you've stabilized your inner identity, your next step is beautifully simple. Live from this place, go about your days, and when you feel the pressure mount, when you feel yourself getting pulled back into old patterns, you know what to do. And when you need a reinforcement, a reminder, return to these videos. They will be here for you. If this series has helped you find your footing, let me know by writing grounded in the comments below. Welcome to the inner field. This is where the mind finally rests and where your life truly begins. Thank you for watching.